300 kilometers of range. It's a fun little car. Been kindly offered a box of desserts. That one is pretty funny, I gotta admit. Hello everyone and welcome back. So for the last couple of days I've been driving the new Changan E-Star, courtesy of Changan Lebanon. It's Changan's fully electric compact city car. I actually haven't seen any reviews online on this car in English, so it's gonna be interesting to check it out for you guys today. You can see, starting with the design of this car, you'll notice we don't have any apparent grille from here except down towards the bottom with the radiator for the air conditioning. We do have lime green accents that refer back to the interior that I'm going to show you in a second. LED daytime running lights. I kind of like their design. They do make the front look futuristic. These are your turn signals, which I'm going to turn on in a second. If you take a closer look towards the side, we have 15-inch alloy wheels, front and rear disc brakes, which is really interesting to note. Obviously regenerative braking on this fully electric car. Opening the door, take a look at those seats. I kind of like their design. They're cloth seats, but we do have blue accents, which is really cool, and the lime green accents. I'm gonna jump inside, show you all its cool stuff. I currently have my camera over there. I was filming some driving impressions. Taking a look at this rear end. Again, as I mentioned, it's a small car. It has a cute factor to it. You'll notice the lime green accents that refer back over here with the emblem. We have 150 liters worth of space. Opening that trunk, I have my charging cables over here. You simply plug this at home, and then you plug this inside this car, and you can even store it down at the bottom so it doesn't look messy over here in the back. And then completing our walk around, it has the same dimensions as the Smart 4.4, which is interesting to note. Checking out the back seats, there we go again. Those seats, they do look nice from the back. The back seats are more comfortable than the front seats, which is interesting to point, especially through here. I really like the seating and very spacious. So I'm 186 centimeters and I fit very comfortably. Let me just demonstrate really quickly. Now the seat is pretty more far away, but I still have enough of legroom. And let me just show you headroom really quickly. And you can see headroom is pretty impressive, which is honestly a big thumbs up for this car. You can see the massive window that we get, and rear visibility is pretty good. Let's jump to the front and show you all its cool stuff. Alright, so here's a POV tour inside the new Changan E-Star. Again, these lime green accents do look pretty nice inside this car. And again, these white accents with the cool design styling even over here. We have two 10.25-inch screens. As you can see, these do remind you of BMW's instrument panel. You can see that with the battery and how much range we have left. Honestly, range has been really good. We have 300 kilometers of range effectively. And I've been driving for the past couple of days and we still have a lot of range and I haven't charged it yet, which is interesting to note. The steering wheel is also very similar to BMW's wheel. I mean, just look at that, very BMW-like, especially with the aluminum spoke. We have empty buttons over here, unfortunately, but you have your volume and multimedia stuff. We do not have Bluetooth inside this car, and that screen is pretty much, I won't say useless, but I mean, it doesn't have a lot of functionalities. In fact, this is the only screen that you get, no sub-menus. You can turn it on or off from here. You have the clock, and then pressing on here, for example, to change, you know, your mode, stations, whatever. You do have a USB port, USB-A, and now it's for charging. So if you want to put music or multimedia, you simply press on here, which I find quite weird. I mean, this is the only touch section. Otherwise, you can see nothing is touch from here, even the climate control stuff, nothing touch. These are touch sensitive, the controls over here, to seek track, for example. And for your different modes, multimedia, and the climate control even, you simply, for example, slide your finger to the fan speed, change the temperature, and you can see how it's going to change over there. Again, I'm not really sure I like this infotainment screen. This is your, basically the levels of regenerative braking. So we have B plus and B minus. Let me just zoom in really quickly. Okay, so you'll have B plus and B minus. There we go. So B plus is slightly more aggressive, and you can see how the range, basically the estimated range, changes. So we're going on B plus. You do have a bit more range left, and then you can see we do have a floating center console, which frees up a lot of space, and I think it's a really nice touch. Let's just turn off the air conditioning. 12-volt power outlet with one cup holder and a small cubby space. I really do like this shift by wire gear selector with these nice graphics. It does look really cool with the electronic parking brake. The storage area over here is pretty deep, but I mean, it's kind of small. We do have a glove box as well with this Changan vest, which is really cool. So close that up. All right, so coming to the left of the driver, first of all, you notice your mirror commands with this button that turns on or off the sound that's generated when you're going on low speeds, because so as not to run people over, it's gonna alert them. It's a quite weird sound. I don't really like it. I'm gonna show you that in a second. Opening up the charging port and the trunk and the fuel door. It's not actually obviously a fuel door, but we're gonna show you that. So first of all, this is your charging port over here, your slow charging. You plug it in here with the one we saw in the trunk, and then opening up the hood, we have the front electric motor, obviously powering the front wheels. It's pretty empty engine bay, but there's that. Let's just close that up. And again, taking a look at the design, what do you guys think? It turns out a lot on the road, and a lot of people have been asking me about this car because they directly assume it's electric because of its pretty interesting design. Coming back over here for the fuel door, this is for your fast charging, basically. Plug it like this. So there's that. I don't believe we do have fast charging in Lebanon, so you're gonna be mostly using the front. All right, so I'm currently leaving Marina al-Bayt to head to Hamra for a nice little surprise today, but I wanted to mention a few things on the way. First of all, this sound, this is to alert people so you don't run them over in full electric mode, basically, because they don't hear you coming. It gets pretty annoying. This is why I turn it off. This is when it's on. This is when it's off. So obviously we go with off because it's a kind of annoying sound. So I'm gonna mention 3 positive things about this car and 3 things that I don't really like about it. So first of all, going out, the acceleration. It's not a fast car, so there we go. I mean, it does get going. One thing I love about this car is that you can one pedal drive it. So most of the time I don't even use the brakes, especially in B+. So B+ is slightly harsher for energy recuperation. The suspension on this car is, I'm not too sure what to say, but I mean, it's very firm. Like every single road imperfection, you can feel it, even if it's just a small pothole. So you have to keep that in mind. A second thing that I find annoying is this turn signals. You don't even hear them clicking. Look, nothing. How annoying is that? I mean, I've had people in the car with me and they tell me, you know, Khadi, just put the turn signals, we're going to the right, and I have them, but I mean, they can't hear them. The car is very range efficient. So if you're commuting from work to home, like every single day, you won't even need to charge it more than, you know, once per week. Ultimately, the best choice is to charge it at night. A lot of people mentioned how nice that interior is, the design, the layout. It feels very futuristic and premium, and I'll have to agree on that. The only downside basically is that center touchscreen that is not fully functional. I wish it had Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, for example. That would have been a major plus for this car. We don't even have Bluetooth, which is honestly a shame for a car in 2021. Visibility is honestly a big thumbs up for this car. Rear visibility is perfect, and side visibility, very wide windows, very big side mirrors, which is a big plus. All right, there we go. So you can see we do have a lot of road noise. That's for sure. Overtaking. Wow. I'm honestly very impressed by how it picks up speed. I mean, the faster you go, the harsher the regenerative braking is. It directly feels more lively in S. And as I mentioned, I'm currently overtaking very easily. It's pretty quick in S, that's for sure. Come on. There we go. And then the regenerative braking minus 98%. Wow. That horn is pretty funny, I gotta admit. So you can see I've been offered dessert by Gustav and Hamra. These look so tasty. I'm very excited to taste each and every one. They're all for me, which is pretty selfish, but I mean, you cannot blame me. These look so good. Alright, so I am going to be doing a couple of acceleration tests to see how this car accelerates from a standstill. I currently have it in S. Mash my foot on the brake and then on the throttle. 3, 2, 1. Come on. That is 50 kilometers an hour. 70. Okay, that's enough. And you can see how much energy is being recuperated, minus 80% of power, which is honestly great. Probably the most common question I'm asked when driving an EV is that if it can go uphill. So I'm currently in Dubai next to the Royal Hotel, and I'm going this uphill, and watch how easily it can go up. Bit of wheel spin right there. I don't believe we have traction control inside this car. Gonna try and stop over here and see how it actually goes up. And then here we go. Yes, obviously a lot of power to put you up this uphill very easily. It doesn't struggle. It's honestly doing a great job going up these roads. Bit of dynamic driving. Perfect, and you can see how much we're recuperating energy, the negative percent. It's a fun little car, I have to admit. I honestly believe that you can one pedal drive this car. You know, I don't put my foot on the brake, honestly, the whole drive. So you can see we have this this uphill, I guess you can call that. So from a standstill, accelerate, let's go. Come on, 100% of power, putting it down, 60, 70 kilometers an hour, removing my foot, and you can see how it goes down to almost, you know, zero. You don't have to think about changing your brakes anytime soon inside this car, because honestly the electric motor is doing all this braking for you. And so finally, I have to mention that the performance is really good, especially on the Lebanese roads. I've gone on mountain roads, on these steep uphills. We tried going on a few slopes, and it does amazing. Flooring it does accelerate pretty well, and the brakes are very good. That was a good surprise.